We've been talking all day about the two best players in the world, Ronaldo and Messi. We're going to put them off to the side at the moment because they've already achieved it. First, second, first, whatever way you want to think about it. And because we've got an ex-pro here who's played with some of the best players in the world, we're going to just pitch it straight away to who is that third best player, because you've got many different candidates in there throughout the years. You've played it with guys like Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Arjen Robben, two people who will probably be thrown in the mixer straight away. What is your answer? Who do you think is the third best player at this moment in time?
I mean, I had the luxury for Zlatan to train with him only. I mean, I didn't have him in the game, but Robben, you know, I trained with him, I played with him, and I feel like he carried Holland in the World Cup.
Yeah.
And also before the World Cup kicked off already, he was so confident. And even now you can see just the man is in top form, you understand? He's feeling good, so just stay fit. And I will pick him as my third one. And I know, you know, we have players like Hazard on the way, but the World Cup didn't help him. But I think where he is right now as a player, he's really pushing to that spot.
Yeah. What about you, Joaquin? Who is your third player that you say at the moment in time?
Well, there's a lot of things you have to take into consideration. So, you know, over the past 5-6 years, we've always had Messi and Ronaldo as the top two. Mm-hmm. But I feel that spot beneath them has rotated a bit. And this, you know, this goes in ebbs and changes with form over seasons. Mm-hmm. Mario, you mentioned the World Cup that Arjen Robben had.
Yeah.
How great it was, what he did to spur them on.
Yeah.
So for me, currently,
not against Mexico, but
not,
you know,
not against Mexico, not against Mexico. But you know, you take these things into consideration when judging where they are right now. Look, you thought maybe going. You know, a lot of us thought the form that Zlatan was in last season was good enough to maybe put him up on that pedestal. Didn't get into the World Cup. That hurts him. Does it make him less of a player? Not necessarily, but let's we have to take form and all these things into account. So for me, taking that into consideration, I think there's a decent case to be made for Thomas Müller, right? Yeah. This is the guy who probably should have been given the best player of the World Cup, considering how many goals he scored, what he's done at his age, and driving his team to a title.
His age, especially.
Yeah, and he already has 10 goals in 2 World Cups as a 25-year-old. I mean, so that's a bit ridiculous while doing it on the domestic front as well. But the funny thing is, though, you take a guy like him, right? No one thinks Thomas Müller is actually the third best player in the world when you watch him play. Yeah. But he does everything so efficiently. So there's all this stuff to take into consideration. If I go on talent, I'm actually going to go with Luis Suárez.
That's what I was going to go with.
Luis Suárez is my pick. I think he is a force that cannot be contained. He is the player that no one wants to face.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So what I think about it is, right, you're playing a pickup game and you pick your 3 best players in the world, right? Someone goes Messi, someone goes Ronaldo. Who am I going to pick if I'm playing a game against it? I wasn't going to go with Suárez, because who am I going to pick against? Who's going to be able to stop those two? Manuel Neuer. I think he's the third best player in the world. He's still a player on the field. I think the goalkeeper is one of the best goalkeepers we've ever seen. I think he is surpassed, or will surpass, the likes of Oliver Kahn, who was considered the best goalkeeper, along with Peter Schmeichel, as I know you've played against as well. One of the best goalkeepers in the world. But I think that goalkeepers come under
against Schmeichel.
Yeah, you
That's
did.
what I did, guys.
That is an accolade you can take through the years.
Oh, Wembley, okay.
Yeah, but the only reason I threw in Neuer in there is because I was going to go with Suárez. But I'm thinking if Manuel Neuer is another player, because goalkeepers do not get all the credit they deserve. I mean, many people could have made a great case for Neuer being the Ballon d'Or winner because he just won the World Cup with Germany. When you're coming up against two guys like Messi and Ronaldo, it's hard to do that. But when I'm thinking about talent alone, when I look at the Premier League last season, and I look at one man throughout all the teams in the world who drove their team more, I couldn't think of anyone better than Luis Suárez. I think he took Liverpool to that extent. I think that he encompassed what it was to be a well-rounded player. And you cannot be a human football fan saying here that you don't think of his actions off the field and his actions on them sometimes to take away from his performance, because his actions in the World Cup with Chiellini, they come into play as well, because he's not a full-rounded player.
No, I don't agree with that.
No?
I feel what you do on the field, that's where you have to be judged.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Diego Armando Maradona.
Yeah.
That is one of my greatest ever players. Yeah. I don't look at what he did outside. And I agree, look, to the children back home, okay, I agree, we have to protect them. Yeah. But away from that, I don't agree with, because I'm coming here to be an entertainer. Yeah. And I'm being judged by entertaining you guys. Yeah. You understand? And that's doing on the field. And away from that, I feel like there is sometimes too many eyes on like, oh, what is he doing? And no, it's just a great player.
But the thing with Suárez is that what he's done, look, he apparently is impeccable off the field. Great, mild-mannered.
Yeah.
It's what he's done on the field.
So that's
He eats people up.
So I'm thinking about it is like I agree with you. I think that you need to judge him on talent. If we're going best 3 talented players in the world, Suárez is my 3rd player. But when you think about best players, they need to be on the field sometimes. Barcelona have just went a quarter of the season without Luis Suárez because of what he'd done, and Uruguay had suffered because of what he did. So I agree with what you're saying in that way. If you're just judging on talent on its own, Suárez is my 3rd, I think, because when he played with Liverpool and now he's getting back to that form of Barcelona, which is exciting to see. So for our choices, I think we're going with Suárez and Arjen Robben, and I threw in Neuer in there in the mix. So those are the guys that are going to mix it up. Anyone else to throw in?
One point really quickly, what we're seeing with Neuer is that he's revolutionizing the position.
Yes.
Right? All of a sudden, we see Thibaut Courtois, who is one of the best young goalkeepers, starting to play more like a sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
When players are able to do stuff, another Chelsea player, Makelele, right?
Yeah.
What he did at Real Madrid or also at Chelsea, when you can redefine a position, it's starting to be named after you. People are defining a sweeper keeper as, they're doing what Neuer does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just shows how important, how influential they are in dictating, what happens in the world. So I think that says a lot to testament to him.
But is he even the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment? Because who's been getting all the accolades at the moment? David De Gea has been considered to be the best goalkeeper, especially in the Premier League. He's great. But those are all good suggestions. I think they can all be a good case made for all of them. I'd like to say that Suárez, in terms of talent alone, is out there. Arjen Robben.
Imagine that Suárez in there.
I'd like to say he's in there, but I'll avoid the bite, and it needs to be on the field.
Okay.
But see, that's the funny thing, because it's like Suárez undoubtedly would have been in the Ballon d'Or final vote.
Of course.
Instead, it was Neuer because of the actions he did on the field.
I agree. Great. But and Müller, what you highlighted, you know what the difference is between Müller? Only just one quick point. He does a lot without the ball.
Yes,
and that's what people don't always see, because they focus more on the guys who make the dribbles.
Yeah.
And that's not always the best. The best could be a guy that doesn't have the ball because he reads the situation really well.
What's scary about Müller is the best could still be to come. Only been 25 years of age. You know what I mean? He could definitely do a lot more in the future. But those are points. Who do you guys think is the 3rd best player in the world at the moment? Leave your comments in the section below. From Joaquin, Mario, and myself, make sure to subscribe to TYT Sports and check them out on Twitter. All their handles will be in the description below. Thanks again, guys.